Hi, my name's Travis, and this is Travis Does Kayak Fishing. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really excited about this video today. I typically don't get in on those cutting edge lures, the brand new stuff that's hard to get. One of those right now is called the Q-Bomb. I think it's Geek Crack is how you say it, but they make it, and it's just almost impossible to get consistently. You might get lucky and see a few in stock, but lucky me, 47 Lures, a sponsor of the channel, they've decided they're going to take care of that for me. They are making what's called the Aero-Sphere, and it's the same thing as a Q-Bomb, but what you want to know about these is how to fish them and do they catch fish, right? Regardless of what they're named, who cares? You're really interested. Do they work? After one outing, I'm proud to tell you I can't wait to get back on the water. I have had a tough couple months losing all the big fish that I've hooked up with, whether it's on a glide bait, drop shot, you name it. They've just managed to beat me by breaking me off, which is on me. But this lure immediately broke that streak. Oh my God, look at that. Beauty on the Q-Bomb, the Aero-Sphere from 47 Lures. God, I love this game. The exact color, it's this Plague Pulse that they make at 47 Lures. It's a fantastic color. I think that'll work in all water, whether it's clear, stained, dirty. I was in some stained water using this, and I used it on the drop shot. I used it on the Demiki rig. I had a Wacky rig with a weight. You do want to weight it. These float. If you throw this on top of the water or one falls out of the kayak or your boat, that's fine. You're going to be able to pick it up and keep going. I want to show you guys first off how we can Wacky rig this and the easiest way to do it. I've seen videos where people go in the middle. I've seen where they go with the ripple side hooked up. But I've noticed on these, there's a little pit that I hope you can see in there pretty well. And it works perfect to give you a little soft spot, a little indentation, a target area, if you will, to where you can hook this around and pull through. And I like the ripples on the back. I feel like that's going to catch the vibration at the end and go out. I'm sure it works the same way too and probably causes more of a ripple with the tentacles here. But we're going to feed this right through that little pit. And I think in an optimal situation, you know, if you're Wacky rigging, that's going to be fine. I think at that point, you're going to throw it out there and you're going to find it bounces. Like if you're skipping it, it's going to bounce a lot. It's going to bounce up onto docks. It took me a minute to adjust, and I had to pull off about 10 foot from where I normally would to skip it. You can skip this a long ways if you're trying to, but put it on that Wacky rig and it's going to float unless you weight it. So because of the size of these and your typical nail weight size, you're going to want to cut that nail weight down. So these are really soft. In case you don't know, I'm just going to clip it. And now I have my weight cut in half. And that's all you need to make this sink. You don't want a lot of weight. The slower this falls on the Wacky rig, the better. I want to get it down a little faster on the drop shot, but we're doing a weight for that. And I'm just going to go, I'm going to pierce like right inside of here. I want to try and get as center as I can and really force it down in there because I want it even. You could probably go across, but if I can just get in there a little bit more. Yeah, that's about there. And let's pop this like that. Let's twist them in. There it goes. I don't know why I was trying to push it instead of twist. They're made to twist. And yeah, I'm going to push them in the rest that way. And that'll do. So I'm sure you can probably do it a little better than me, but that'll sink and it'll go pretty slow because we're only using, it's like half an eighth. I think that's an eighth amount weight I have there. It's just lead, so it looks big. If it was tungsten, it'd be much smaller, but you can fish that out Wacky rig. Skip it under docks, throw it about laydowns. If you're a wasteland guy, you can try that, but you're going to have way more luck finding the structure and throwing the Wacky rig around that in that shallow range. So if I'm fishing, I don't know, less than 10 foot, I'm probably going straight to this. And on the right day, if I know they're holding to the docks and they're out a little bit on the edge of the docks, Yeah, I'll throw that out in the deeper, maybe for like 20. But I don't know if I'm going to really want to let that sink all the way to the bottom without going a little bit heavier. Core Tackle does make a hook just for this. I think it's called the Wacky shot. And you can get that, and it has like a screw-on area, which makes it really easy to twist it on there. And then you're guaranteed a good hook set there. I haven't found a bad hook set. I didn't lose them, though. If you're drop shotting, it's the same thing. You just don't need the nail. You're still in the pit, right? And then just let them hover. Or what I like to do when I drop shot most of the time is I'll throw it out instead of doing more vertical. And I'll do that slow drag back and try and keep them, however long my leader is. Yeah, the other day it was like I think a foot is what I had on it, foot to 15 inches, somewhere around that range, just slightly over a foot, and just drag him along. And he swims like a jig, like a typical jig would. The tentacles go back, and then when you let off, they pulsate. Now, if you do go vertical, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The tentacles are just gonna fluff out, and they're gonna float there. And what I'm gonna do to show that to you here in a few is just fill up like a cooler. It's not gonna be a real good underwater test, but I just want to hold it under there and show you how the tentacles look and give you a view at it just floating in like a bowl or something. So now, before I do the underwater stuff, I just want to tell you other ways I think you can fish it. I'm not going to do it to this one because I actually want to keep this color. I'm going to use this other color that, man, the name's escaping me, but I'll put it down below for you. I've already kind of got him chewed up. I caught a 16-incher on him in the dead of night, fishing by a dock, away from the dock light. I actually did it on a Demiki rig because I couldn't find, the typical jig that I was looking for, and it worked. I just shoved him on there really hard, and I just bounced him off the bottom. And this guy floats, remember that. So when he's sitting there, he floats up like a Ned rig would. Like if you had a TRD on, he's going to float up on the hook end and hover there, and those tentacles are just going to pulse. And when you drag, they're going to flop, pulse, drag, flop. It's going to be beautiful. But I think you can use a ball hook with a screw on. I'm not even going to cut that out. I'm doing pretty good on one take right now. But you put that in there, you screw it around, and that'll rest on there really good. Now, I think you're going to want to go in at like an angle so you leave some room for the hook set. So I would say if I were doing it, find my fit. It's right there this time where the tentacle's coming through. And I'm just going to go through with my fit. And when I get down here, I'm just going to screw them down. And trust me, I don't see this on any other video. This will work. I assure you. When you see it in the water and you're swimming it, you're going to say, man, that guy was actually right on this. There's some versatility here. Think of this as like a trailer. If you have a spinnerbait that doesn't have a skirt on it, put this on there and fish him. But you can swim that, and when you drag him, he pulsates. You can bounce him. And again, you go down to the bottom, he will float. So kind of like a Ned rig there, right? Kind of like a shaky head there. You can do it that way. That will work. That's the next way I'm going to try it, because I've done the Wacky rig and the drop shot and the Demiki. So Demiki was silly. But I also said like a jig, put that on a football jig. That'll work fine. You'll swim that. It'll pulsate. That's good. And another one I want to try that I haven't yet. So I'm going to do the jig, the ball jig, and then that's a football jig. I want to do a football jig for clarity because I know what a jig is a jig, right? But the Carolina rig, because this guy floats, I'm imagining him on some lightweight line just dangling up in the air and floating as you drag this guy along. And it will pull him down, and then he'll come up, and he'll pulsate, and he'll float, and the tentacles will go out. I'm ready to find the wrong way to fish him, so I'm gonna try it all. But yeah, there's some great colors available. Again, I really like this Plague Pulse. Yeah, I said it right this time. This one here is the Contaminated. And the other one, man, I can't find the bag for, so I don't know the color, but again, it'll all be down below. But they're really cool. They look stupid, but as I've shown you in this video, they will catch big fish, and that's one outing. I'm ready to see more of what they do. Let's show you what they do in the water. All right, so what I'm going to do here put you guys back down, and I'm just gonna pretty much drop my rod tip and let him hover down. Now I could have done this a little more efficiently. Then bounce, bounce. Let him fall nice and slow. Tons of slack on my line on the bottom, and you see how he just kind of, I call it sturgeoning out, but he just expands. Look at that. That's nice stuff right there. Can you see how it gets bites? And this isn't even an optimal setup. That nail rig is protruding out big time. So let's imagine he's a drop shot. And we're hovering off the bottom of the water. Every now and again we give it a little wiggle. That is going to drive the bass crazy. And again, this is weighted. This is going down. Imagine a Carolina rig where this guy just kind of floats up and gets drug along. I do wish I had an actual tank to show you that. So for me, I think this is a lot of fun. And fun lures are something that you just can't pass up. It's something new. Maybe it's gimmicky, maybe it's not. But I know right now it caught me fish and the right kind of fish. So I would say if you're interested in this, head over to 47lures.com and pick it up. This is your kind of content. Bear with me. I'll get better at the underwater stuff. I actually have a friend named Eric who's donating a tank to the channel. So thank you, Eric. We'll be doing this more often. So hey, YouTube thinks you're like this playlist on the right. I think you're like the playlist on the left. If you like this content, just hit that subscribe button. It's my face down there. It's greatly appreciated. And thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one.